Hello, we're live. Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda Call. This is a page from my webcomic, Age of Night. This is chapter 28, page 8. This will make the fourth stream that we've been working on this, I believe, because we did 2 streams of drawing it. Maybe this is the fifth one. Oh, maybe I mislabeled this. I'll have to fix that. Anyway, I think we spent 2 streams actually doing the nib inking. We did. That was my mistake. Whoops. Hey, Spud. Thanks so much for joining me. Totally forgot about that until just now. That's okay. Anyway, we're going to try to finish it up. I've got to post it to Patreon tomorrow. So we're going to try to finish the brush inking tonight on the stream. I've got my very messy bottle of India ink. I've got my brush. We're going to get rolling. Load up my brush. Use my little scrap paper over here to make a nicer point on it. And we'll get started. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're doing okay there, Spud. I am very busily getting ready for my first Comic-Con of the season. I have gone to a couple of gaming conventions doing various staffing working type things, but not representing myself at anything yet this season. So this will be my first one. This is the Maine Comic and Toy Con in Portland, Maine, which will be this weekend. Hey, someone sane. Thanks so much for joining me. So yeah, despite my best intentions, I never am really all that ready for con season when it starts. It always feels like it sneaks up on me. I did some work to prepare last week. Thankfully, I did actually order stuff that I needed in time. So everything that I ordered got here in good time. That's all great. Any supplies and stock and stuff that I can't produce myself. But I'm still trying to organize and print mini comics and get them all folded and stapled. And I have a new display piece that I'm working on trying to finish, and a new some new signage. And it's just I always end up kind of scrambling at the last minute. Despite my best intentions. A lot of my friends that I'm going to see this weekend from the New England comic scene were at Wicked Comic-Con last weekend, which I heard went pretty well. I was not there, so I don't know. But that was for a lot of them, it was their first convention of the season, and they were in our little group chat, they were all scrambling Thursday night getting ready. And I was like, oh yeah, I already pulled all my stuff out for next weekend. And they're like, oh, look at you being all prepared and stuff. And I'm like, oh, no. The joke's on me, because that just means I'm going to be tripping over all this stuff for a week while I get ready instead of doing it all in a mad dash the night before, which is what has happened so far. I've just been tripping over all this stuff for several days. I will continue to trip over all this stuff that is scattered about my studio for several more until the night before the convention, when I load it all into my car. This is just how this works. Hey, Hungry, thanks so much for joining me. Happy to have you here. All right, we're going to do this. Shadow from her arm on here. And last week oh my gosh, last week I had it was not really super conducive to getting a lot done because everyone was home on vacation, which just meant that it's like, oh, well, now everybody's here. So we want to spend time together and get stuff done around the house and, that sort of thing. And then also I had a training class for work. I had to take this online training class, and it was like a 7-hour Zoom class. It's ridiculous. We got a 15-minute break in the morning and then a half-hour break for lunch, and that was it. We came back from lunch, and I was like, "Are we gonna get another break? No, we're just gonna sit here for 3 hours? Oh, that's amazing." It was terrible. And I mean, this is so my day job is as it's just a part-time job, but it's as a deputy town clerk for my little town. Um, and I'm training to become the actual town clerk. And so this was a town clerk overview class of different stuff that, you're responsible for and some of the different laws that you have to be in compliance for and everything. So it was literally just 7 hours of here is how municipal law works, and here are different types of forms you have to make sure you fill out. I was like, oh my God. It wasn't bad. There was a lot of good information, but it was also just, it was so dry. Yeah. 7 hour Zoom class. New, absolutely. It was bad. Not as bad as the Bureau of Motor Vehicles one that I took, because at least this one, I don't know, the presenters were at least a little bit better at presenting. Dang it. Stupid backwards hockey sticks. It's funny. But yeah, the presenters for this class were at least engaging and good speakers. I had to take a Bureau of Motor Vehicles class a few months back. The same kind of thing where it was a multiple hour online class. I think that one was 5 hours, which is still way too long. And that was terrible. It was so boring because the presenter just had no flair at all. She just kind of droned for the whole time. And I was like, oh no, I'm trying really hard to stay awake and learn things, but you're not making it easy for me. I don't know if you can hear my little birds being loud. I think that extremely loud one right now is a guinea bird. You're so loud. I'm pretty sure you're fine. I just fed you. Just needs everyone to know. Needs everyone to know that he has things to say. Very excited. It's like, hello, everybody. You're going to listen to the song of my people. Peep, 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 peep. I do enjoy having the little birds in here, but I will also be happy to not have the little birds out in my studio at some point. They are fun, but they're very loud, and it's like I have to clean their enclosure every couple of days anyway, just because, but it's like it smells really bad really quickly. It's like you clean the enclosure and it's like, it smells good in here again. And then literally like the next day, it's like, nope, smells like chicken poop again. Delightful. And like it's I didn't even think of this because it hadn't come up before when I had raised birds out here. Uh but it actually is also kind of inconvenient insofar as it's like, oh, there's some stuff I can't do while I have the birds out here. So I was working on that new display piece and I was like, okay, I finished all the like construction part of it. Now I'm gonna like stain it and seal it because it's made of wood. And then I was like, oh no, I can't do that. Like I can't be using like wood stain and polyurethane in here because even like water poly, it'll kill the poor little birds. Like, birds are so sensitive to fumes. There's a lot of art supply type stuff I just can't even use while they're out here. Thankfully, I don't tend to in my everyday type art making. I don't tend to use anything that's that harsh, but there's a lot of art supply stuff that it's like, oh, I just can't even consider using that while they're out here because they will die. So I gotta like do all my woodworking outside if it ever stops raining this week, or I gotta come up with another solution. Something. I'm glad I thought of it before I just like gassed all my birds. And then was like, oh no, what did I do? I try. I have been told I'm a thank you very much, someone saying. I've been told I am a good chicken mom. I try. They don't always make it easy, but I try. All right, that's fell. We're gonna do some little shrubberies back here. Hooray! Okay, so top tier, all inked. Now it's on to the next tier. Let's see how close we get to finishing today. That's right. This very awkward, like, arm grip handshake situation thing here, which I probably could have shown a little bit clearer, but that was the best I could come up with at the time. All right. That's looking pretty acceptable there. Oh my goodness. Loud. Squawk, squawk, squawk. Hooray. I don't know, I think I'm sitting at a funny angle. My shoulder is like, ma'am, what are you doing? Especially when you start inking, it's very easy to like forget that, like, oh yeah, I can just turn the paper. I don't need to start turning my whole self. Like just turn the paper. If you're at an awkward angle, move the paper around. Don't start sitting like a pretzel. Not helping. Horses. In the page that's going to be up tomorrow that Patreon saw last week, there's a lot of horses on that one. And I think they came out okay, but every time I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? This is the one with a little blaze on its face. Oh, we got shrubberies. Shrubberies, don't forget the shrubberies. It was like I was complaining about having to draw horses, and my husband was like, "Yeah, that's why in all of Slayers there's only like a couple of horses that ever appear." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I hadn't even thought about that, but you're totally right. It's a fantasy anime, runs for like 3 seasons, and there's no horses, almost no horses. None of the main cast ever rides around on horses. They're always walking." It's just like, yeah, that's why, because drawing horses is difficult. There we go. We got more vegetation back here. We got this little tree. Okay, and they're already all done in pen, so now we've just got fell in the foreground here. Whoop, my little word balloon mask is like right up against where I need to go. Just slightly in my way. It's just so strange to draw Thel doing anything other than scowling. It's like, oh, he has to have like a reasonably like chill, pleasant expression. Oh, he doesn't do that. He doesn't like do chill, pleasant faces. He's always scowling. Always making some kind of scowl, grumpy face. Which is not true, but it's like 99% of the time true. All right. I think that's going to be pretty much, it's going to be that tier. Sweet. Okay. So now we just have this bottom tier. We've got 30 minutes left. We're making good time. We'll see if we actually go the full hour. We might be close because this last panel is a little bit fiddly, but we'll see. We did do a lot of it with nib inking earlier, the pen nib inking earlier, so we'll see. We'll see how long it takes us. For a little bit short this evening, that's okay too. Got to color in the kitty. He starts to make a lot more sense once you actually color in all of these. Let's actually fill in all of this with black. Oh, that reminds me. I gotta I didn't pull up a link. So it was just announced. I gotta like post on my socials about it, but I have not yet, and I need to do that. It's just announced. A project that I'm a part of is going to be out on Kickstarter in June. It's called Shelf Care. It's an adult coloring book, and all the different illustrations in the coloring book are done by different RPG artists. So I have an illustration in there, and so do a bunch of other really cool folks. So we have like the I guess the like notify me on launch preview page thing is up at this point on Kickstarter. I'm pretty excited about the piece I have in there, which I'm not entirely done with yet, but I got the pencils approved. I got to finish the inks for it, but very skeptical look on Drake here. Yeah, it looks like it'll be a really fun project. I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody else's pieces look like. Because basically we were just all given free reign. It's just like, hey, your art is cool. Make us a cool piece of art for this book. Like, do you have any particular like subject matter? Nah. Let's make us a cool piece of art. Okay. I think it had to be like fantasy. I think that was the only I might even be wrong. That might not even have been a restriction. I know my piece ended up being fantasy themed, but I don't remember if that was even actually a prompt or if that's just like where my brain went right away. It was very much like, yeah, you artists are cool. We're gonna let you do your thing. Oh, okay. So I am curious what other people have come up with. There's another shrub. More shrubberies. All right, we're on the last panel. We've got 20-ish minutes left. I think we'll finish in plenty of time. Drake's little chest ruff there. Hey, Keith. Thanks so much for joining us. Almost done with this page. Very exciting. This is the one that'll be going up on Patreon tomorrow and be public next week. A game session that ends at 8, so you're always late. That makes sense. Not a problem. I have like a weekly meeting with the skirmisher crew, just, tangentially related. I have a weekly meeting with the skirmisher crew, and the meeting always starts at 8 p.m. on a Thursday. And Thursday is the one night a week that my other job is open. So I have to be there every Thursday, and we close at 7. And it's like, yeah, it's like 3 miles away. So it takes no time at all for me to get home. But it's always just like, yes, we've closed, but then we still have like closing up stuff to do. And that's if we even get to actually close at 7, and not like if somebody is still standing at the counter and we're in the middle of helping them and they want to chit chat and are not taking a hint as we're like closing everything, which happens not infrequently. And so then if it was like a busy week and we're trying to like close out all our stuff for the week, and we're having, sometimes we don't get out of there until fairly late. And also because I work from like 4 to 7 on those nights, I haven't eaten dinner. And so I'll like come home. I'll like race home and then heat up my dinner and be like sitting in my meeting eating my dinner. And sometimes I'm even like a few minutes late. I have to text everyone like, "Hey guys, I'm going to be 10 minutes late. I'll see you soon." And then I'm sitting there eating my dinner and just muting my microphone as we're going over business and pausing my meal whenever I need to chime in on anything. Which it's like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. And on nights that we get out of there in a timely fashion, that we're like actually out of there by like 7:05 because it was an easy night, then I have plenty of time to come home and eat supper and then make my way out to the computer to join this meeting. But a lot of times it does not work out that way. And I'm like rushing in the door and shoving food in my face in the middle of this meeting. So just to say, I understand how sometimes your schedule is just like, the things that I need to do there or want to do, they're all piled up on top of each other. Which is also like my local brewery does events, does like all their cool like weeknight event stuff on Thursdays. And the time that I would go in there and the bartender's like, "Hey, you should join us for trivia. We're doing trivia." I'm like, "When are we doing trivia?" "Thursday nights." "Cool. I will literally never be there." "What? Why not? Don't you want to do trivia?" "Oh yeah, I would love to do trivia, but that is the one night I absolutely cannot make it because I am already double booked that evening." It's just not gonna work. Always one night when everything's happening. Absolutely. It's just always how it works, is that either literally nothing is going on or everything is going on at the same time. got this hand holding the helmet. And she's wearing gloves. We've got this little seam on the side of her finger here. There we go. All right, looks like we're gonna end just a tiny bit earlier than normal tonight. So I will start going over all of the YouTube things while I finish this page. I'm Amanda Call. This is a page from my webcomic, Age of Night, which you can read online for free at ageofnight.com. It's AGEOFNIGHT.com. I update a new page every Wednesday. But if you would like to help support me make comics, you can support me over on Patreon. And then, even for just a very small monthly support, you will get all of your comics a week in advance. You also get free comics for signing up, other cool, fun behind the scene peeks and stuff, and sometimes discounts on other stuff I'm working on. Yeah. And I also really appreciate it because that's very helpful to me. You can also buy copies of Age of Night on various places online. You can buy physical copies from Amazon or from me at a convention. You can also buy copies, digital copies on Amazon, Drive-Thru RPG, Drive-Thru Comics, and Drive-Thru Fiction, and on my publishing partner Skirmisher's website, skirmisher.com. Speaking of conventions, this weekend I will be at the Maine Comic and Toy Con in Portland, Maine. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I will have copies of the first 3 books of Age of Night available, as well as a bunch of mini comics and prints. All sorts of good stuff. All right, so finished all of that inking. I'm just going to quickly add in some whiskers on Drake. With the jelly roll, I have gone back and forth on lots and lots of different white on black type solutions, and the jelly roll is just where I'm at right now. This is one I used like a long time ago. This was like the initial white on black solution that I ever used, and that people are always like, oh yeah, just use a jelly roll. It didn't always work very well though. But currently this jelly roll seems to be working okay, so I'm just rolling with it. I think that's the only one I needed to do, is just that one. Get those little whiskers back on there. All right, so that is going to do it for me this week. Next week, we're going to be doing another I Am the First page, I believe. I got to figure out which one. Won't be spoilery. From the last issue, the very final issue of I Am the First. We're getting there. We're getting so close on that one. All right, so we have now, after 5, I mislabeled this video, so 5 sessions of work, we have finished this comic page, and it is all now inked. I do have word balloons hiding, like actual lettering already hiding under these. I just masked them because I didn't want to give away what was happening exactly on this page. So yeah, my patrons will get to see it tomorrow. Everybody else will get to see it next week. So thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with me. I will see you next time. Bye.